time for the Susan Taylor Podcast, where we discuss the yoga of mind, medicine, and healing. Author of Feeling Good Matters, Sexual Radiance, and the Vital Energy Program, Dr. Taylor imparts authentic knowledge and practical tools that inspire, educate, and empower us to be a healing force for positive change. So join us and take your life and our planet to the next level.
Hello and welcome to episode 121, Rise Above the Panic, a practice to restore yourself. You know, at the center of ongoing need and chaos, it can feel impossible to be centered and grounded. And here's a portable practice for rising above the storm and becoming a witness. Since much of my work has been with healthcare providers and practitioners throughout the last 2 decades, I wanted to provide this practice for those impacted by the coronavirus and those caretakers who are involved with treating people. You know, we know that it's challenging and draining to our energy reserves, and we have to really support this group who's really coming, on the front line to really help us. In today's episode, I'd like to provide a practice that helps ground our energy, restores our balance, and provides a quick response to relax to the core. So I really hope this practice can serve you in some way. Let's begin. See if you can be seated in this moment with your eyes closed. You might want to prop your seat with a pillow or a blanket, but use whatever you need to really feel relaxed. If you're home, it's much easier to have a light blanket or shawl to cover your shoulders, and that helps to contain your energy. But if you're at work, this won't be as easy, and that's okay. Now close your eyes and be still physically, not necessarily mentally. We're not working with the mind so much here. Let's just work with the physical body. You know, often we have high expectations of ourselves and think that we could just mentally turn off the switch. Well, let's not do that, because many of us know when we try to do that, it leads to frustration because the mind likes to wander. So let's just remain still with our body. And don't get too focused on the idea that you should be able to calm down and relax. Let the mind do what it's doing at this moment, and just be aware. Be aware of your body and its feelings as you're sitting there. The point is here just to sit and be aware of your body and your seat. We also don't need to pretend that things are just fine or anything that we want to really deny how we really feel, because things probably are not actually fine. Let go of any false feelings. Just sit and be aware of your body. And over the time, this will help you deal with what isn't fine. Whatever comes up, let it arise, but just don't have a need to feel a certain way, at least for now. Let's just be here, seated, and being aware of our body. For this moment, just be a human being, just sitting here. Just notice the feeling of the body sitting in stillness. We're not going to worry about the breath right now. Just allow yourself to sit in stillness and see what comes up. Next, you might want to ask yourself the question, how do I feel right now? And see what comes up for that answer. What is the main thing you're feeling right now? And this helps you notice and tune in to what's true for you, and make some space for those thoughts. It's really okay. Just allow yourself to feel whatever it is that you feel. Now let's turn your attention back to your body. What are you feeling? physically? Are you feeling some stiffness, some pain, or maybe some lightness, heaviness, freedom? Whatever you're feeling, just be aware. There's no right and no wrong answer. Just by noticing what's happening, we can step back from it for a moment. And this is our awareness. And it's useful to help us to be an observer rather than a participant in our thoughts and feelings. So for the next few moments, just step back from what you're physically feeling and watch it. You are the observer. You're observing it. And this serves to settle the mind and body. We're here to rest and experience the inner rest of the body and mind when they're not doing anything. So let's just be instead of doing in the next few moments. You may be so tired that being may be very easy. Just sit there and let go. Maybe you've decided to just watch your breathing. Just be aware and have the experience. On the other hand, you may be anxious and rattled that you may not feel rest, and agitation is actually happening. So let's work with that if that is happening for you. Notice what's happening and bring your attention back to your body. And pay particular attention to the weight of your body. Let the mind do its activity of planning, worrying, speculating, and all its activities, and that's okay. That's the nature of the mind. All you do is just try to notice your body for one moment at a time as you keep your attention on the weight of your body. Then let go. Allow your mind to wander. So here you're giving your mind permission to wander, and then you're coming back to the body. Now try it as you're thinking. Exhale and let go of the breath, and notice the body. Okay, then go back to thinking. Let's do this several times. Exhale again. Let go of the breath as we exhale, and notice the body. And now go back to thinking. So we're going to do this again several times with awareness. Go back to thinking, then exhale and bring your attention to the weight of your body. Then go back to thinking, and exhale again, bringing your awareness back to the body. One more time. Exhale, bringing the awareness into the body, and go back to thinking. There's no right and wrong here. You're thinking then as soon as you notice the thinking, you're then exhaling and bringing your attention to your body. So as soon as you notice the thinking, exhale, bring your attention back to the body. I sometimes call this bring your mind back home. And that's all. The key is to experience what that feels like. Exhale, bringing the mind or our attention back to the body and letting go and thinking for a moment. What happens is, as you keep doing this, you'll be able to be in your moment for a bit longer. Being in the moment helps keep our energy stores because we're less reactive and more of a responder. You know, we're used to the rumination of the same thought over and over and over again. So with this practice, we're watching the space between our thoughts. And over time, we'll have more space between thoughts, resulting in more calmness, less fatigue, and a restored feeling of energy. Most importantly, when you do this, even if it's for a moment, you're giving the mind a rest. And when the mind rests, your energy stays contained. So if thinking arises, come back to right now. See if you can do it again. Exhale. And go back to thinking. If you could feel the weight of your body when you exhale, because you're coming right back into the body, on the chair resting in the present moment, rather than focusing on the thoughts of the past and future, you've made a little bit of progress. If you're not able to bring your attention back to your body in this way, you might be able to let go of any tension that you're holding by just sitting there and concentrating on the jaw, the shoulders, the lower back. Do what's best for you. The idea is to exhale, coming back to the body. And inhale, you can go back to thinking. If you try a deeper exhale, letting go of all the tension in the body at once, that also really helps. Relaxing and letting go of any part or all of the whole is the basis of the practice, and this occurs with an exhalation. So try it again for a few moments. Now, as thoughts arise, exhale. I invite you to say, "Not now." And you could even do that as you exhale. So we're getting a little deeper here. Thoughts come up. Exhale, "Not now." It's not that the thoughts are bad, just not now. Mind, we've already done that before. We know it, but not now. I'm going to take a few moments for myself. Let's stay in the present moment in stillness for a few moments. Exhaling, letting go. Inhale, back to thinking. Before we finish, I'd like to suggest one more thing. You can do this grounding practice when you're in a situation that's fearful, critical, and basically a crisis. So if you're a medical provider and you're in the hospital, you can actually take one moment to ground and operate from your home base. So you exhale, bring your mind back to home base, and then you go operate for what you need. You pause 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds if you can, and then go take care of whatever you need. And when you feel the weight of your body move down to your feet through your whole body, for those that have practice, you can use your abdominal area. Just really pay attention to that and fill yourself with that energy. Allow an exhale to happen, and on the inhale, feel your entire body fill with energy. And see if you can ground yourself in the present moment. The key is to practice this at home and get good at it. Get familiar with it, I should say, not good. Just get familiar with it, and then when you're out and about, or if you see something, you will be able to hook right into it. Give yourself one breath at a time to ground and be aware. And may this practice serve the greater good in all. If you enjoyed the practice and you think it's useful, please teach others or pass it along. And that concludes this episode. And as I always say, do your research. Practice it at home, see what it feels like. If you know someone that may need to know about the topic, please send it along. Send the link, send the podcast, YouTube, whatever. I want to build a community and really help our community support the global connection that we really, really need right now. The Susan Taylor podcast does come out every week and is available on iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, even susantaylor.org, and other podcast platforms. And join me for behind-the-scenes commentary and Q&A for these episodes on YouTube. I'd like to hear from you, all of you, during this time, all the time always, because I always say that, but especially during this time. Let's stay together. Let's come together as a collective consciousness and connect to each other and support each other in times of need. And until next time, remain calm, consciously aware, living in the moment.